Stuart Brown. There he is. He is the general manager and owner of the 24/7 online Broadway music radio station, soundsofbroadway.com. He's a member of the Outer Critics Circle. He's also the president of the Connecticut Critics Circle. So very cool dude to have on the show. And we're dialing him as we speak. It's ringing.
Hi, Stuart. Hi, I'm calling for Dave's Gone By. Can you hold 1 minute?
We have our first guest.
Thank you,
boy.
Stuart. David's very excited. You're the first guest.
Yes. So we're going to put him on speaker, and then, Stuart, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Stuart, can you hear me? Well, it's Dave Lefkowitz here on the Dave's Gone By. Oh, by the way, just one thing. If you can find the mini tape recorder, I don't know where I put it. Thank you. There it is. What would I do without my wife, ladies and gentlemen? But Stuart, welcome. Welcome to the Tony Show. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Are we on now? Or?
We are on. We are on live on the air.
Okay. All right. I'll get my live voice.
Yeah.
I'm doing good.
Fantastic. We're doing great too, and happy to welcome you to the program. So, Stuart, first of all, tell us a little bit about your radio station. Why, in this age of Sirius XM and people having, well, iTunes is going to go away, but people have their own podcast things.
Right.
Why do a 24/7 Broadway station?
Sure. So I've been involved in college radio for, over 40 years. So I am an old school person where you go to a station and you program your music and you're live and all that. And I just felt that the amount of time it took, even for a 1 hour show, it takes a couple of hours to prepare, to drive back. And with the technology now, you can literally do it from home with a laptop and a microphone. And I have hundreds, over 1,000 cast albums. So I thought, why put the energy into a 1 hour show when I can do my own 24/7 online Broadway radio station? And I just feel that because I've been going to the theater for the last, almost 45 years, I have a wealth of knowledge. I have a wealth of recordings, and I'm getting more and more each week. So a station like Sirius, even though they're very good, in my view, they have a very, very limited playlist. I mean, if you listen constantly, it's like, why? I just heard that song, or how come they're playing songs from that show all the time? There's literally hundreds of shows. I don't think they've ever even played a song.
Now, Stuart, can I ask you real quick, what was the first Broadway show that you saw as like a grown-up? Not when you were dragged by your parents, but like you chose to go see.
Right. So when I was a freshman in high school, my friend and I took a bus from Central Jersey to New York. Now, this is 1971, 72, when Times Square was the Times Square as portrayed in the musical For Life.
Yeah.
And I can't believe my parents let me do this. And we were supposed to go to a show called Twigs. We had a twofer, which for people might remember, this was a piece of paper that you could go to the box office and get 2 tickets for the price of 1.
And was Tammy Grimes was in that
one? A little note
stuck
to the window saying Twigs had closed. You can get a refund around the corner. So after I throttled my friend for dragging me into New York, we were looking around, and I wanted to go see a show that was looked interesting called Sugar, based on Some Like It Hot. My friend said no. He goes, let's see this one. I'm like, I don't want to see that. He goes, come on. Fine. We went in. We paid full price, Saturday matinee, which I think was, for orchestra seats, was under $8. And we saw a show called Grease.
Oh.
And this was the original Grease. Barry Bostwick. It was just, and it was the
Carol Demas, probably our friend of the neighborhood
show. It's still one of my top 5 of all time.
Yeah.
But that was when I was a freshman in high school. And then after that, my friend and I went in every couple of months and been doing it now for many, many decades.
Well, one of the cool things that Stuart Brown does, now that he's been a theater person for so many years, is get to see a lot of the shows on Broadway. So that's why we've asked him to be a guest on this Tony Show. And we're asking all the critics to weigh in on one particular category of the Tonys and give their ideas on all the nominees, also who might have been left out in terms of nominations, and then decide, hey, who should win the award and who, who I wish would win. So, Stuart, your category is lead actress in a musical. And let me read the nominees to you. Stephanie J. Block for The Cher Show, Caitlin Kinnunen for The Prom, Beth Level for The Prom as well, Ava Nobelzada from Hadestown, and Kelly O'Hara as the star of Kiss Me, Kate. Stuart, your thoughts?
My thoughts. Well, I think, unfortunately, this is a very weak category this year. And I think it's sort of a statement on good roles for lead female performers. I mean, I went through the entire listing of shows that opened, and there's just really not a lot of people. And I think that shows with, I think both women for The Prom, Caitlin Kinnunen and Beth Level, were very good. I think in another year, I don't know if both of them would have been nominated. Eva Nobelzada from Hadestown was good. I didn't think she was extraordinary. And I'm also president of the Connecticut Critic Circle. So we have our awards ceremony Monday. And when we sit down and sort of go over who's worthy of nomination, one of my big things is who is extraordinary? Who is, when you're sitting in the theater, you're going, wow, that's a Tony Award winning performance, or at least nominee. And some of these were very good, but they're supposed to be very good. That's what they're getting paid for. To me, who was extraordinary? And in my view, Stephanie J. Block from The Cher Show. I mean, she really anchored that show, and she not only embodies Cher, but she brings. I mean, Stephanie J. Block. She's in her early 40s. And she's been in many, many shows, and she's always delivered a dynamic performance. And I think that shows in The Cher Show that she really, I don't know if people are familiar with The Cher Show, but there are three Chers. There's
I think the other two Chers are very, very good, by the way.
Yeah. Older star, which is what Stephanie's role is.
Yeah, I mean, they don't get any credit or note at all, but all three Chers are actually quite good. But yeah, Stephanie, she's kind of as you said, the anchor, because she's the older Cher looking back, and she comes out in the first minute, and you kind of know, okay, yeah. If nothing else goes right with the show, Stephanie J. Block is right in this show, in the Cher Show. Was anybody left out though? I know you didn't find anybody extraordinary.
Yeah, no, I mean, I went through everything, and it's not only a question of who was left out. Who else could have been nominated? Right.
I'm wondering if there's anybody you would have substituted.
No. I mean, this category. Now, in some other categories, I don't know if you want me to.
Well, no, actually, the question that I want to ask
outside of my domain for this
sure.
call, but I think there are some very stark omissions.
Oh, like what? Like what? Tell us. Like what?
Well, I think Be More Chill. I mean, Be More Chill received one nomination for Best Score. What about Best Musical? I mean, one thing I really get frustrated as a critic and someone who works on award ceremonies, and actually, if people look in today's New York Times, there's a big article, who was left out of the Tonys? Well, you can't say who was left out unless you're going to subtract someone, because you can't have 10 people in a category. So
the Oscars really can, but yeah.
Frustrated, especially with the New York Times. But with Be More Chill, I mean, Beetlejuice, Best Musical? No. Even Ain't Too Proud. It was a good jukebox musical, but I thought Be More Chill was much better as a musical. And then also To Kill a Mockingbird. It wasn't even nominated for Best Play. I mean, and I saw it. I thought it was excellent. And you could easily substitute that for Choir Boy or Gary. And then just a sort of a minor thing, but if anyone saw King Kong, one of the things about King Kong is the sound. It wasn't nominated for sound. I mean, here you have King Kong roaring. I think you have 3 or 4 people operating the sound. It's a very sophisticated setup.
Yeah.
And there's no sound for King Kong. So those are sort of my 3 that I think could have been added and substituted in for some of the other awards.
Now, speaking of sound, I want to remind everybody one last time that Stuart Brown has a website that you can go to and listen to for 24/7. It's called soundsofbroadway.com. Sounds of Broadway. And are you
can also,
yeah.
a shameless plug,
Please.
but you can hear it on your Amazon Echo. You can download an app for your iPhone and Android phones.
So you can hear it in so many different ways when you're on the subway, when you're going anywhere, soundsofbroadway.com. So Stuart Brown, it's just been terrific talking with you about Broadway and music and kicking off our Tony show. I want to wish you much, much success with the continued launch of soundsofbroadway.com and have a wonderful new season.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye now. Stuart Brown, starting off the 15th annual Total Theater Tony show right here on our Facebook page, facebook.com.